Good Wednesday to you all as I welcome you to the latest edition of Notre Dame Daily. I'm Pete Mulroy. And as we continue discussing the abundance of talent on the Irish roster ahead of next season, let's today take a look at freshman wide receiver Dylan Faison, the younger brother of current Irish wideout Jordan Faison. Dylan was a three-star football recruit in the recent 2026 class, and we know how great that group was. Adding to his impressive athletic profile, however, was the fact that Faison was also the number one ranked lacrosse recruit in the country by way of St. Andrews High in Boca. At 6'2", a buck 80, Faison presents as a speedy pass catcher with incredible burst and strong ball skills. His athleticism, which is built around that speed, allows him to win deep and create solid yards after the catch. You can just go back and watch his high school tape. With willing versatility, he also offers Mike Denbrock and Mekai Brown the option of moving him between the inside and the outside as he continues to develop on the gridiron. This is a young man who can present matchup problems for a defense, which is ultimately what any team would want in their wide receivers. He's no different. From a lacrosse perspective, Faison's been instrumental as a freshman midfielder for Kevin Garrigan's bunch. He recently scored his first career goal in Notre Dame's victory over then number one ranked Richmond, a win that helped vault the Irish, who were actually the top-ranked team in the country a couple of weeks ago before their first loss of the season to UVA, put them back in the number 2 spot in America. Now, awaiting them, a big showdown against number 1 ranked North Carolina, 10-1 overall this weekend, and he'll surely play a crucial role in that one as he continues to wet his feet in this system for Coach Cargan. From a football perspective next season, Faison's a developmental asset who could contribute on special teams. Overall, he's an exciting player to watch grow into a larger role with the football program, as at least right now, lacrosse is the priority. Of course, his brother Jordan, as we know, was an impactful member of the 2024 national champion Irish lacrosse team, though he's now put his emphasis on football. Athletes like the Faison brothers are rare, and we've seen how impactful Jordan's been during his time in South Bend. There's no reason to think the younger Faison can't carve a similar path, because as we're starting to see and have seen, he's already off to a very good start. Immensely gifted young man who is, you're going to see him, if you watch lacrosse like I do, and you know exactly what I'm talking about, you're going to start to see him mesh himself even more from that midfield position into the game plan each and every week. I mean, he's there for a reason, was the bar none number 1 recruit in that sport last year, 3-star recruit in football. So he's a complete package here, and we'll start to see him, for as great as he's going to be as an impact player at the midfield for Notre Dame lacrosse, we'll start to see that develop even more so from a football perspective, which is really exciting. We've seen how good his brother's been, and again, like I just mentioned, there's no reason to think that can't happen once again. Transitioning to some recruiting now, and the Irish received some very good news over the past 24 hours or so. First concerning a prospective defensive lineman, Montana Toilolo, a 6'3", 260-pound physical specimen from Mater Dei in Cali, has set an official visit to South Bend for June 12th. Recently on campus for his unofficial, Toilolo was instantaneously hooked, hence the date for the official, with offers on the table from the likes of Washington, Miami, UCLA, Arizona, and Michigan, among others. The 2027 defensive lineman has no shortage of suitors. During his recent stop on campus, he was able to meet with Charlie Partridge and Marcus Freeman. And based on the fact that the overall trip went incredibly well, it's not hard to determine that there was definitely a positive connection between player and coaches, given Freeman's success, as we know, as both a player developer and outstanding recruiter, as well as Partridge's background in developing immense talent on both the collegiate and professional levels, most recently with the Colts in the NFL. It's not a shock that recruits feel comfortable, like Toilolo, in a setting of that magnitude. With the Irish emphasizing both lines in recruiting in the portal in recent cycles, something Marcus Freeman would like to continue, the potential of adding a player like Toilolo is beyond intriguing. A strong lower body, wildly stout frame. He offers those recruiting him the ability to play multiple fronts across the defensive line, which you love, right? Especially in today's game. And he's not just a space eater. This is a kid who can stop the run and clog holes, yes, but also one beyond capable of being active in the backfield with physicality, steady effort, a consistent motor. Montana Toilolo has the type of athletic value that would allow Charlie Partridge to use him inside or out. This will be one to keep close watch on for those reasons and more, because the fit does make loads of sense here for Notre Dame, as it will for the other programs recruiting him as well. But with Notre Dame putting emphasis on both lines, those trench guys, those frontline battle guys. Yeah, Montana Toilolo, with that frame and that ability to get even better and mold into a consistent Division I high-level football player, I don't think you can get much better than a Charlie Partridge as a positional coach underneath what Marcus Freeman continues to do in South Bend. The same can be said for 27 five-star edge rusher Mekai Brown, one of the top defensive players in the class. Brown, 6'6", 235-pounder from Greenwich Country Day, recently placed the Irish in his top 5 list of schools, along with Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Ohio State, and USC. He's the top player in the state of Connecticut, number 6 ranked edge in the class, and a top 50 player overall as per 24/7. Easily one of the more physically gifted players in the entire class as well, with incredible burst off the ball, quick reaction, strong balance and flexibility. Don't believe me? Watch the film. Brown will simply fit into any defensive system he walks into. It would be outstanding, of course, if that was Chris Ash's unit in South Bend. The ideal frame for a high-level college edge, he has it. Brown is long, explosive, who will see the field early in his career. Couple inches taller than current Notre Dame freshman edge Rodney Dunham. There are solid comparisons to be made there between the two. Pairing them on future Irish defensive lines would also be a dream scenario for Freeman, Ash, and Partridge. And with Brown having the Domers in his final 5, Notre Dame is very obviously in very good position to land yet another top-flight impact player via that traditional high school recruiting. And they've done a great job of that. We talk about it time and again because it doesn't expire. They've been so good under Marcus Freeman going out on the road, whether it's Mike Brown with the wide receivers, now Brian Jean-Marie with the linebackers, Aaron Henry now working with that defensive secondary, and of course Charlie Partridge up front. You do the flip side, Denbrock on offense with Joe Rudolph and what have you. Coach Gino going out on the trail for quarterback recruits, and that QB2 battle continues to brew in South Bend. You have got guys that have a unique ability to relate to the kids that they are going out to meet and recruit and say, this is why you'll be the perfect fit in South Bend. This is what we can offer you, and this is what you can expect to learn from us and how you expect to be treated as a Notre Dame football player. I mean, that is absolutely worth a lot to these kids, and we're starting to see that, and we have seen that. Just a completely different animal, Notre Dame recruiting, since Marcus Freeman, and it's from him down since he became the head coach of the Notre Dame football program. And let's wrap with some fan interaction now. Concerning the depth in wide receivers the Irish have added via the portal and recruiting in recent time, Larry 690 isn't worried about Notre Dame missing out on 2027 target Eric McFarland III, something we spoke about yesterday with Notre Dame being left out of his top 11. He said, we only need a couple wide receivers. We're currently loaded. Yeah, look, with what Notre Dame did in the 2026 class with Faison, Bubba Frazier, Kadon Finley, Braden Robinson, and Devin Fitzgerald, the future there is incredibly bright. We know that, and it's legit talent. Not to mention Cam Williams and Micah Gilbert this year, expected to play prominent roles in the offense. And as I said yesterday, for all the successes programs like Notre Dame will have on the recruiting trail, you can't get them all. You just can't. And you're going to lose guys too via the portal. There will be those swings and misses. We know that. It's the nature of the beast that comes with it. But Notre Dame is going to have more singles, doubles, triples, and home runs than strikeouts, than pop-outs, right? To use those metaphors. They're going to have more wins than losses. But Larry's correct. The future is deep on the outside with legitimate talent. You can talk about guys like Preston Frizzell and Ian Premer at the tight end position coming in as good-looking pass catchers. And Premer could have a prominent role sooner rather than later as well in a talented but young tight end room. So now it just comes down to development, right? So I'm with Larry there. It's untapped talent, but talent nonetheless. These guys are here for a reason. They were brought on board to come and be part of the now and, of course, the future. Larry also says it's another good show, referring to yesterday, and keep the info coming. Look, that's the goal, buddy, right? And I'm glad you're enjoying it. The same goes for the rest of our great base here at Notre Dame Daily. And forever thankful to the guys at Fan Arch for allowing me to do this with you on a daily basis. On that note, keep the comments coming and have an awesome rest of your day. As a reminder, NDD can now be downloaded via TikTok, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, in addition to right here on YouTube. I'll see all of you fine folks tomorrow. And as always, you know it, go Irish.